birth breathing techniques. I'm about to show you how to breathe. It sounds funny when you say it like that, purely because when we get so stressed and anxious about the fact that I can't breathe properly, it defeats the whole purpose. The idea is that you want to lengthen and deepen your breath. That then helps to stimulate or activate the relaxation response, which then helps to flow all of those positive hormones, those birth promoting hormones through your system. So you can see how it all works. The idea of breathing is not to get anxious about breathing. It's a tool to then help reset your nervous system, to then help reset everything to progress, because basically what you're saying to your body is, I'm safe, I am okay, and I can do this. Hi, I'm Kerryn, the founder of PregActive, and I'm here to help you leave fear at the door and totally own your birthing experience. This is just one small component of our complete 10-module birth preparation program. Become one of our PregActive mamas and walk into birth feeling completely confident, informed, and empowered. As soon as your breathing starts to become shallow, or there's less rhythm to your breath, your body senses danger, and then it goes into that fight or flight mode. And as we know, that cascades into failure to progress through your labor, interventions, and so on. So let's breathe. What I'm going to do is go through some birth breathing techniques now, and then I have separate videos for you to watch that are just practice videos, so you don't have to keep coming back to this one to hear me ramble all about this. You can just go straight into the practicing of it, because there is no point in me teaching you this, you listening to it once and then writing it down somewhere and then going, okay, when I'm in labor, I'll do this. You need to do it now. You need to practice it. You need to ingrain it into your system so that it is a tool that your body understands is a relaxation technique, and so on. All right. So number one is our vowels. This is the one of the breathing techniques I particularly use. It's one of the breathing techniques my PregActive mamas keep coming back and telling me that they use in their labor and their delivery. So here we are. Vowels. A, E, I, O, U. The idea, as with any of the breathing techniques, is low, deep tone. So we work with a breath in, and then we work with A, and then E, I, O, U. Now, how long you go in terms of the sound depends on you. And ideally, if you start practicing this now, by the time you get through to using it for your labor, it will be longer and deeper, because that's going to help you to get through the contractions, a longer, deeper breath. So let's practice together. We'll start with the breath in, and then we'll do A, and then we move through to E, I, O, and U. Ready? Breathing in. You It's a beautiful breath to work with your birth support. If you are surrounded by that same sound, it helps you. It helps you to feel less alone, and it helps you to dive deeper into the sound. I had my husband about here, and I was here, and I would work with that sound with him right there. He said he had sore ears afterwards, but you know what? That's okay because it was all about getting through those contractions and working with that. So I would highly recommend you work with your partner with that. Again, I'll cover it in the partner module so that they also know the importance of it too. We work with a counting breath. So again, anything that can shift your focus away from what's happening is good, and working with count can really help. Now it might be that you count in for the count of 4 and that you count out for the count of 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever your number may be. If you breathe in and then you breathe out for a longer count, it helps you to stimulate that relaxation response. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to breathe in for the count of 4, and then we're going to breathe out for the count of 6. If that's too long for you, then you go for shorter. That's fine. Just try to make the breath out longer and deeper. Okay. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you would practice that, as we will when we get to the video that works with the practice. It could be that you just work with breathing and it's just a count. So you're breathing, and as deep or as shallow as you need. So it might be not necessarily a focus on trying to expand your breath as big and as deep. It could be that you're just breathing and counting to 10, to 20, to 30, to 40, to 50, to 60. If we're thinking about a contraction being 40 to 60 seconds long, it could be that you literally just count your way through that, and that's your focus. So you're not necessarily trying to hold a breath in or anything like that, particularly if you get anxious with breath counting. So remember, the whole purpose of the breath is to help activate the relaxation response, which then helps to reset the nervous system, and then everything can flow on from there. So if breathing makes you anxious, or a particular type of breathing makes you anxious, it's defeating the whole purpose. I have worked with women before who said, I was breathing so much, I was breathing, but it could have been this up high breathing, that they were so focused on breathing that they weren't necessarily breathing to relax and to drop and to get deeper. Okay, so that's really important. So it could be that you literally just breathe 2, 3, 4, 5, breathing out when you need to, 6, 7, breathing in when you need to, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you just keep counting, or your partner keeps counting. So there's some type of rhythm, whatever it is for you, that can work. Now, there are different stages of labor, as we've discussed, and it may be that you need different types of breaths throughout. If you are heading into towards the pushing phase, it might be that you do really need that deeper breath out. And I've worked with a wave, or imagining a wave. So if you can think that you're breathing in, you're at the ocean, you're breathing in, and you feel that wave rise. So you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and then you feel it crashing back down. So it's not necessarily a count as such, it's just the biggest, deepest breath that you possibly can. You're using more of the imagery to focus on the fact that you're working with this wave. So it's that breath in. Let it go. Whether that's the sound, whether you work with a ah sound or a o sound or a ah sound or a e sound or a anything sound, it doesn't actually really matter, then you can imagine that. I had one PregActive mama who told me she worked with a lion, the roar of a lion behind her, that power of the lion as she worked with her contraction and that breath out and that pushing phase. She really found that useful. So if there's something that motivates you that is bigger than you, and I feel like that's where nature comes in, right? We are all just beings, and having nature be this bigger thing that's just there and helps let go, because it's all about letting go. So if there's something that can work for you, then just let it go. And then working into simple little fairy candles, little, because this might be when you're crowning, that you don't need big, deep breaths. It might be that as you're crowning, you're basically needing small, little breaths that very, very slowly helping your cervix to open and helping your baby to very slowly come through to help reduce your risk of tears or any other complications. So that's something to work with. Is literally, you can imagine a little fairy cake with little candles, and you're not trying to blow them out, you're trying to fairy breaths, fairy breaths, fairy breaths, little ones, or small breaths or small pushes or whatever the cue may be. And this might be a conversation that you can have with your midwife or your doctor if you get to see the same midwife or doctor and you know that they'll be the ones in your labour. It could be something that you work with in your birth preferences, that you say, when it comes to the crowning phase, I would like warm compress. So a warm compress can really help with saving your vagina basically in that expansion, and fairy breaths or fairy candles or whatever it is, or small pushes or whatever the wording that you need, get them to say that, because that is the idea of the birth preferences list, is that they've read it, they understand where you're at even if they've never met you before, and you're all on the same page, rather than trying to explain something to someone in the duration of your breath, in the duration of your birth. So they are some breathing techniques that you can use that are really powerful, and now soon we'll be going into practicing them. See below to access my free active birth class. For more videos just like this, visit pregactive.com.